Got it.
Where do I put it?
On the ground.
Who needs a man? Not me, baby. Not me.
You see?
Oh my goodness.
That's no oil. Now oil is coming, you see?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I'm recording it. And I do have a witness in here. Somebody put windshield washer or something?
Something like that.
So the car was getting fucked up?
No, I don't know. She just brought it. Oh, Jose.
Yo.
She said her washer fluid is not working. She told me that too.
Okay.
And that is the perfect way to commemorate Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Welcome back. Beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Radowski here of We Are Change.org. And there's a lot of tomfoolery out there and lunacy as we're going to be talking about all the latest and craziest news regarding Sean P. Diddy, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, as it looks like the United States is moving closer and closer towards setting up a real life draft where young people now will be put into the selective services and probably into future meat grinders that the United States is putting down payments on. What's going on geopolitically, especially with the larger proxy wars that we're all involved in and paying for right now? Well, we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media organization, since Atlas is a good dog and the best dog, who, of course, gets all the treats every time you guys subscribe. This is why she's my official co-host. As, of course, the clip that we played in the beginning of this video is from, I don't know where it's from, but it probably happens a lot more than we realize. As, of course, this video, I think, was put together by @BCURB11. I don't know if that's the person who did this, but the caption reads, quote, "Who needs a man?" Posted on social media by literal Heather. I don't know if they made the video or not, but I'm following anyway, because this is pure gold. As, of course, for some strange reason, all the gender specialists are trying to figure out, why aren't there that many female mechanics? Huh? That's so strange. There's a little pay gap there that they could fill. Construction workers, sanitation workers, plumbers. This says, of course, men have an extremely important role in our society, and some of those men royally mess it up. Like Sean P. Diddy Combs, that just as of today returned the key to the city that was gifted to him by his celebrity-loving, partying, booze-drinking, party-hopping mayor, actually requested it back, because, of course, he literally got it just a few months ago. But now, after a video surfaced of Sean P. Diddy Combs beating up his girlfriend, then paying her off to be quiet, and then somehow the video is still being released after the statute of limitations is applied here, so he can't be criminally charged, which left the mayor saying that he was, quote, deeply disturbed by his fellow partying buddy, who on video beat his former girlfriend. As, of course, not a good look to give the diddler a key to the city. I don't want that guy having a key to anything. Another person I don't want having a key to anything is Joe Biden, who was just referred to as the, quote, King of the Super Predators by Donald Trump at a campaign event in Detroit, Michigan, where he is promising to rebuild the auto industry, as he is now telling everyone that he's thinking about not just getting rid of taxes on tips, but also getting rid of the income tax, which I think would be a wonderful idea. All of this, as during Father's Day, I think it's also important to bring up the men who actually do a good job, who usually get criticized, usually get attacked, usually have the finger pointed at them for all the world's problems, when in reality, they're the ones standing in the way of total bedlam, even though they're constantly under attack. This has representation of men, particularly white men, on social media, on mainstream media, in the TV shows, movies, and commercials, usually is one one showing them weak, pathetic, fat, and dumb subliminal subconscious messages that are meant to, of course, weaken your Lincoln dependency and respect for them. As in reality, if you look at the statistics, especially around the crucial role of fathers in the home, as it's very clear that fathers play a vital role in a child's development and future success. As, of course, fatherless homes are linked to high rates of self-harm, depression, not doing well in school, dropping out of schools, and also a massive amount of criminality. As, of course, 85% of youths in prison right now and 90% of homeless and runaway children come from fatherless homes. Fathers that are involved in their children's life are 80% less likely to spend time in jail and twice as likely to go to college. This as single mother parent households are now becoming more and more common, and with that, some other very troubling statistics surrounding that particular new cultural norm that probably is responsible to some of the larger cultural and criminal decay happening in our society today. This now under the new Rockefeller division system has two parents working, the child given to the state, where in many instances they have their minds warped towards utter lunacy and insanity that we are normalizing as somehow progressive behavior, which, of course, there is not, as there's even some serious consideration about getting rid of Father's Day. This says Tim Pool, the Beanie Man, took to social media today and said that today is the most important day of the year and, quote, hereby declares that June is to be Father's Month because fathers are the most important aspect of a functioning society. And he's not wrong. You look at the statistics here again, some of them especially related to some of the biggest outliers in our society do directly correlate to some very troubling statistics that are going up dramatically and only being made worse by our social and cultural divide, which I believe is being played up on deliberately, pushing a divide and conquer agenda that is meant to, of course, destroy all of humanity. As of course, that's the exact pathway that we are on. And this is why on LukeUnfiltered.com we love to talk about becoming the best, strongest, most amazing version of yourself. And we do that in many different ways, especially when it comes to health, wealth, and becoming the best version of especially when it comes to the latest tips and tricks when it comes to becoming healthy and wealthy through, of course, members-only video that span 10 plus years on LukeUnfiltered.com, centered specifically around helping you improve your life the best that you can through the information provided to you that I have been building, growing, and collecting for many years now. Lots of little things about stoicism, emotional resilience, and trying to lead to better life outcomes for you as an individual. How do we do that? How do we focus on that? Well, through your support on LukeUnfiltered.com, as of course we are also organizing a nature hike this Friday just for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're doing a nature hike. Once again, we did these all over the United States. We did one in Miami. We did one in Austin. We did one even in the swamp of Washington, D.C. And we're going to be doing another one in New Hampshire by the White Mountains around Lancaster, where, of course, we will be doing live shows at PorkFest at promo code Luke10, 10% off tickets for PorkFest. But Friday, 12 noon, we're doing a nature hike in New Hampshire. You could be a part of that nature hike just by signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com, coming out, meeting people, touching grass, and of course, realizing that the world is pretty freaking beautiful and amazing. And you realize that once you actually put your feet on the ground, once you smell the fresh air, once you look at the amazing, incredible power of the healing nature all around you that is magnificent, that is beautiful, that there is a direct war on, and that you need to appreciate before times get really bad, as of course it looks like times are getting pretty bad and pretty serious. As of course NATO just announced that they have 300,000 troops now on high readiness, as a lot of people expect tensions to escalate and boil over in Europe surrounding the larger proxy conflict that is going on there right now, as fierce battles are continuing over small territorial gains inside of that country, as we got new video footage of Russia moving in more tanks to Ukraine to fight the ever so forever war that is continuing an extremely long time. All of this is happening as the U.S. House of Representatives just passed a defense bill that will now automatically register men 18 to 26 for the draft. Yes, the Selective Service is already mandating all males that are U.S. citizens aged 18 to 24 to be registered for potential military purposes. That age now got expanded and now automatically registers all males in this particular category. This all under the National Defense Authorization Act, which annually gets passed and sets out the U.S. government's and military's priorities for the next fiscal year, as the U.S. House of Representatives are looking for a $9 billion increase since last year, this current year, for a military budget of nearly $1 trillion. They're asking for $895.2 billion for, quote, military spending, as this budget also signals the largest ever military pay raise in history, 19.5% increase for junior enlisted troops, as there's also funding for 2 new Virginia-class submarines and the establishment of a new drone force that will be used by the U.S. Army. Now, the bill, of course, will still be taken up to Congress, as another important provision here would also require women to register for the selected services and potentially be drafted into the U.S. military if the U.S. military needs people to be drafted. This as Jimmy Dore took to this news and said, quote, "They seem like they're getting ready for something." As of course, for the past 52 years, males were required to register on their own for their selective services. And if, of course, you didn't, you would be fined. No one really was fined or prosecuted. But now, automatically enlisting people, even all the strong and independent women, highlights clearly how the United States is looking out for a larger problem that it's facing, as of course their recruitment goals have been absolutely atrocious and extremely low because morale is low. Respect for the country is pretty low, but also, more importantly, a lot of the children are fat. They're obese. They can't walk. They can't run. They're also mentally deranged and insane. They don't have proper gut floras and gut bacteria that could make the proper chemicals for their brains to actually work in a proper way, as many of them are addicted to douche flutes and watching Bobs and Vagines on the computer screens. As of course, the children are not all right. And with the United States putting down payments on the future of war in the Middle East, in Europe, and in Asia, this highlights a problem for a lot of Western countries, even including the United Kingdom, where there was conversation about their prime minister starting up a draft. Conversations that are being stifled right now, as of course military recruitment also in the United Kingdom at an all-time low. This, as in Russia, there already is mandatory conscription of individuals into the military. The same is, of course, in Ukraine, where they just started their own prisoner battalion as well that will be put soon to the front lines for this larger proxy conflict. But again, Russia and Ukraine are in a war, and this is why young men are being drafted. The United States is putting down payments on the future of war, and if they will be involved in one, you could bet your bottom dollar that you probably will be getting drafted. Especially if you're healthy, especially if you could run, especially if you could not be a deranged individual that's chopping off their body parts. All of this is just a few days ago. Russia came out with a peace proposal in order to end this war, which quickly was ended by NATO and Volodymyr Zelensky that automatically said no. As now we have a, quote, peace summit of 80 nations that are saying that they want to respect Ukraine's territorial integrity, as the Prime Minister of Italy during the G7 meetings came out and said, quote, "If Russia doesn't agree to our terms, we will force them to surrender." As it looks like this conflict will be going on for a very long time. There could be another conflict also unfolding in Asia. There's already a conflict in the Middle East, as the Financial Times today is reporting that Xi Jinping, the president of China, is claiming the United States wants China to attack Taiwan, as of course there have been significant show of forces from the U.S. military in the region, as Donald Trump, a man that a lot of people do not want to become the next president of the United States, is promising to change American foreign policy. It's promising to change American trajectory and to end these wars. Will he keep his promise? Will he get into office? Will he be able to do what he is telling everyone he wants to do? Well, I sure hope so. But there's a lot of underhanded efforts trying to stop him, including Biden, that's trying to literally pass legislation and laws that will prevent him from stopping the war. These wars are ridiculous. These wars are pointless. These wars are dumb. These wars take the life of so many innocent human beings. And there should be huge swaths of empathy for the people of Ukraine, for the people of Russia, for all the life loss and innocence loss. For what? Again, I think we need to sit at the table. We need to talk. We need negotiations. Not everyone's going to be happy with what they get. But we need this war ended. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members, as of course the corporate media usually says the opposite of that. And this is why your voice matters more than ever. Sign up to lookunfiltered.com. Even if you can't be a part of the nature hike this upcoming Friday at noon, you could at least help support the future growth of it. As again, going out there, getting tickets, getting hotels, it costs money. Your support really does mean a lot. And I have promised you, we will be doing nature hikes all over the United States. With your support, we will do them everywhere. Let's get on it. Let's start hiking. Let's start touching grass. Let's start living life. Let's start appreciating life before it's utterly destroyed by sociopathic, insane individuals that want more war. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys signing up to lookunfiltered.com, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.